In 1587, 115 English settlers landed on a small island off the coast of what is now North Carolina, hoping to build the first permanent English colony in the New World. Within 3 years, every single one of them had vanished without a trace. The expedition was led by Governor John White, sponsored by Sir Walter Raleigh, part of England's broader push to establish permanent footholds in North America before rival European powers could claim the same territory. Among the settlers was White's own daughter, Eleanor, her husband Ananias Dare, and their newborn daughter Virginia Dare, born shortly after they arrived, the first English child ever born in the Americas. The colonists built a small fortified settlement, but conditions quickly grew difficult. Relations with neighboring Native American communities were tense, and supplies ran low faster than anyone had planned for. Facing dwindling resources, the colonists convinced White to sail back to England for more supplies. He agreed, promising to return as quickly as possible, leaving behind his daughter, granddaughter, and the rest of the settlers. White's return took far longer than anyone expected. England was at war with Spain, and the Spanish Armada's campaign against English shores meant every available ship, including White's, was conscripted for national defense instead. 3 long years passed before White finally secured passage back across the Atlantic. He landed on Roanoke Island on August 18, 1590, his granddaughter's 3rd birthday, expecting to finally reunite with his family and colony. What he found instead was silence. The settlement was completely deserted. Houses had been carefully dismantled, not destroyed, taken apart and removed, as if the colonists had left deliberately rather than fled in a panic. The only clues left behind were 2 carvings, the letter CRO carved into a tree, and the full word CROATOAN carved into a wooden post of the settlement's palisade fence, in clear, deliberate capital letters. CROATOAN was both a nearby island, now known as Hatteras Island, and the name of a local Native American tribe the English had actually interacted with peacefully during earlier expeditions to the region. White desperately wanted to search CROATOAN Island immediately, but a violent storm damaged his ships and forced his crew to abandon the search, sailing back to England without ever confirming what had actually happened to his family or the colony. For over 4 centuries, historians debated the fate of the Roanoke colonists. Theories ranged from a massacre by hostile tribes, to a Spanish raid, to starvation, to simple, peaceful assimilation into a neighboring Native American community. In recent years, archaeologists excavating on Hatteras Island, the historical CROATOAN, uncovered English-style artifacts dating to the correct time period, including gun parts, and notably iron flakes consistent with blacksmithing. Those iron flakes are a byproduct of blacksmithing, a skill the local CROATOAN tribe wouldn't have had on their own, but one the English colonists definitely possessed, suggesting the 2 groups may have lived and worked together, sharing skills and resources. Alongside the iron flakes, archaeologists also recovered fragments of English pottery, gun hardware, and other clearly European trade items, all found mixed directly into the everyday living areas of the historical CROATOAN settlement, not buried separately or hidden away. Sir Walter Raleigh, who had personally funded and championed the original expedition, never returned to search for the colonists himself, and England's attention shifted increasingly toward the ongoing war with Spain in the years that followed White's failed search. When the Jamestown colony was founded 17 years later in 1607, its settlers heard local accounts describing pale-skinned people living among certain native communities in the region, though no direct, confirmed contact with Roanoke survivors was ever formally documented. Many historians now believe the CROATOAN carving wasn't a distress signal or a mystery at all, but a straightforward prearranged message, exactly where the colonists had gone, to live among people they already knew and had friendly relations with. Historian Scott Dawson, who has spent decades researching and excavating Hatteras Island specifically, argues the colonists were never really lost at all, that the answer was carved into that post in plain English the entire time, and simply wasn't taken seriously enough. Not every historian fully agrees. Some point out that assimilation doesn't explain every detail, like why no definitive Roanoke descendants or oral histories have been conclusively confirmed among modern Hatteras communities, keeping the case technically still open. If the assimilation theory is correct, the real mystery was never really where the colonists went. It's why, for over 400 years afterward, almost no one seriously followed the one clue they left behind pointing exactly there. Virginia Dare, the first English child born in America, has become a lasting symbol of the entire mystery, a life that essentially disappeared from recorded history within her first 3 years, her actual fate as unknown as everyone else's. The Roanoke colonists may not have vanished into thin air after all. They may have simply walked toward the one place they told everyone, quite clearly, they were going. Follow for more stories where the answer was hiding in plain sight the whole time.